This video is brought to you by MPEC Printery, specializing in t-shirt printing, posters, and shipping from the USA. Call 876-775-6692 or 876-337-7374. Andy Gone Nuts, 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876-309-6128. That's 876-309-6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876-586-0471. That's 876-586-0471. This video is also brought to you by BLC Jamaica Security Electronics, specializing in alarm system, video surveillance, camera system or CCTV, barrier system, gate automation, and access control. Call 876-320-7711. That's 876-320-7711 or 876-351-1105. That's 876-351-1105. Hey folks, how's everyone doing? I hope everyone is doing well. I'm Simon Preston, and welcome back to Reggae Boyz Commentary. This is the channel where we come together to discuss everything in relation to Jamaican football. This is your hub for everything Jamaican football related. So let's get right into the matter, shall we? I see your comments and we're going to get to them. So the 2024 edition of the Copa America is the 48th staging of the competition. The quadrennial international tournament, as we know, is organized by CONMEBOL, the South American region. Argentina are the defending champions after winning the 2021 edition of the tournament. Now, the 2024 edition of the Copa America is set to run from June 14 to July 13. Now, this will be a 16-team competition. Now, as we know, there are 10 CONMEBOL members. So that would leave 6 teams. Of those 6, 3 that are slated to be invited are the United States, Mexico, and Costa Rica. Sorry, United States, Mexico, and Canada. Now, with those 3 set to be invited, what that basically means is that there are 3 spots up for grabs. Now, according to reports, it is slated that the 3 other members, it's highly likely that the other 3 will come from the CONCACAF region. Now, the Copa America tournament, as you know, it still doesn't have a host for the tournament itself. The 2024 edition still does not have a host just yet. Peru have raised their hands in terms of expressing an interest to host the competition. However, it is yet to be confirmed. If you look at the rotation system, Ecuador were supposed to host it. However, CONMEBOL President Alejandro Dominguez said that Ecuador had been nominated but not yet chosen to organize the tournament. And last month, Ecuador declined to host the tournament. Why did they decline? Because their facilities, they don't feel will be ready by that time. The teams that will definitely be at the next Copa America tournament: Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Canada, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, Mexico, Paraguay, Peru, Uruguay, the United States, and Venezuela. Now, for the United States, we know this will be their 5th appearance at the tournament, but Canada, it'll be their first time ever. They were invited in 2001, but they withdrew a few weeks before the event. And Mexico, they've been invited to all 10 Copa Americas from 1993 to 2016. And of course, we know that they were second in 2001, and of course in the 90s as well, 1993 to be specific. Now, that being said, who are the other three that are likely to be invited to the 2024 edition of the Copa America? Well, one in particular, there will be at least one Central American team invited. Now, many people might say, Simon, isn't Mexico Central America? No, Mexico is North America. Central America is one of Belize, Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Panama. It's likely that Costa Rica will also get an invite as well, and that would leave two, one from the Caribbean, and the other could be from either Central America or the Caribbean. Now, Jamaica's history within this competition. 2015, Jamaica win. This was their debut in the competition. They fell 1-0 to Uruguay, 1-0 to Paraguay, and 1-0 to Argentina. 2016, they fell 1-0 to Venezuela. You guys remember that? 2-0 to Mexico and 3-0 to Uruguay. Now, what are the chances that Jamaica can get invited to this tournament? Well, at this point in time, it stands a very strong chance because of where Jamaica are right now within the FIFA rankings. Yes, Captain Horace Burrell is not around, who had a solid relationship with the president of CONMEBOL. And despite the fact that Captain Horace Burrell is not around and is not communicating with his good friends Juan Angel Naput or Wilmar Valdez, Alejandro Dominguez, who is the president of CONMEBOL and a FIFA vice president as well, and part of the FIFA Council, is aware of Jamaica and what they have done within the region specifically. There is a chance that Jamaica could be invited to this tournament. Although it's not Captain Horace Burrell at the helm trying to negotiate these sorts of talks, there's a strong chance that it could happen, and which is something that we should all be embracing. Mr. Galaxy says, it would be amazing if that happens, says Mr. Galaxy. I agree, it would be fantastic news, absolutely fantastic news if this happens. Bessa Documentary says, bless up, Simon. Bless up. How are you doing? I hope that you are doing well and the rest of the family are doing well. So June 14 to July 13. Is there any tournament that Jamaica should be in during that period of time, 2024? Well, Marvin Farron, hope you're doing well. Deshaun Johnson says, please make it happen. All right, so here's the thing. Jamaica's already qualified for the 2023 edition of the CONCACAF Gold Cup. So that's 2023. What's on the agenda for 2024 for Jamaica? Well, as it relates to the agenda for Jamaica for 2024, there will be a Nations League for us to play. And that will be part of our, you could say, schedule, roster, so to speak. Does that mean that there might be a clash between Nations League and Copa America? Possibly. However, if Jamaica is one of the teams that will be invited to the Copa America, Jamaica's games in the Nations League for the 2023-2024 cycle would be shifted to facilitate their participation within the Copa America. If a situation comes where those dates are not available in terms of shifting dates of matches, then what could happen is that Jamaica might field their strongest team in the Nations League and a second team in the Copa America. If it means that there is a collision as it relates to dates for the Nations League for 2024 and also the Copa America for 2024. So what's likely to happen is that either the dates for our Nations League games could be shifted, or if they cannot be shifted, then Jamaica is going to have to play perhaps two different squads for these two competitions. So then the question would be asked, would you want to send your strongest team to the Copa America or send your strongest team to the Nations League? Now, if you ask me, Jamaica are more than likely will be in League A for the next edition of the Nations League. I would want to ensure that there's a balanced squad to both. I wouldn't say throw our under-20s in the Copa America or throw our under-23s into the Nations League. I want to have a balanced squad so that one, we not only remain in League A, but also have a chance to advance to the Nations League semi-finals and also send a good squad to the Copa America so that Jamaica can become the first Caribbean team to get out of the group stages of this tournament. So that is exactly how I feel as it relates to the Nations League, and I'm interested to hear how you guys would feel about that matter in particular. Illuminated Being True Light says, do under 17 and under 21 teams play international games? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. That would be great if Jamaica gets invited, says Marvin Fern. Absolutely. Absolutely. Linford Stevens says, Simon, have we ever been to the Copa America before? Yes, Jamaica has played twice in the Copa America, 2015 and 2016. In 2015, Jamaica lost 1-0 to Uruguay, 1-0 to Paraguay, and 1-0 to Argentina. In the 2016 edition of the Copa America Centenario, Jamaica fell 1-0 to Venezuela. Rudy Austin got a red card in that game. 2-0 to Mexico, and 3-0 to, Uruguay. So, you guys remember that game against Mexico where Clayton Donaldson had a lot of chances, right? Yeah. Millionaire says, Jamaica have under 23s. How do I get in? Well, the thing is, Jamaica is not qualified for the Paris Games as a result of not being finishing in the top 2 in the CONCACAF Under 20 Championship in Honduras. So Jamaica will not actually be at the Olympics for men in Paris 2024. If you're talking about LA 2028 because of your age, then my suggestion would be to speak to Roy Simpson. It can mix, bro. That's what I'm saying. It can mix. I'm just hoping that it's not full strength one and semi full strength the other. I would like to have a balance. So if Andre Blake is at the Copa America, then perhaps I would like to see Kanaya Boyce Clark at the Nations League. That's basically how I'm thinking about things and how I would like things to happen as it relates to these upcoming competitions. Mirax says, if Jamaica in League A at that time, our game would be shifted as it seems those teams will be invited. More than likely, it will get shifted. But for the small chance that those games cannot be shifted, then it will be a scenario of otherwise. Jordan McCarthy says, would like to win the Nations League. Yes, not only this edition, but the next edition of the Nations League as well. I want Jamaica to go and beat Mexico, because if Jamaica goes on and beat Mexico, that means that Jamaica qualifies for the semifinals of the Nations League. And by virtue of qualifying for the semifinals of the Nations League, Jamaica will then be 2 wins away from winning a trophy. 2 wins away from winning a trophy. You know the last time Jamaica won a trophy? 2014. 8 years ago was the last time Jamaica won a trophy. And you know who we won the trophy with? Jamaica won the trophy with, Winfred Schaefer. That's the last time Jamaica won a trophy. That's the very, very last time that Jamaica won a trophy. Simon, do you think Jamaica should go to the Copa America 2024 in the USA? Well, as mentioned at the start of this video, I think it would be helpful for us because that gives us 2 avenues for 2024, the Nations League and the Copa America. Even if it is that Jamaica only plays 3 games in the Copa America in 2024, it's imperative that I think that Jamaica will be invited because Jamaica will be tested against high caliber opposition, because Jamaica will face one of the top 3 seeded teams, top 4 seeded teams, since it's a 16-team tournament. So Jamaica will face one of Argentina, one of Brazil, one of Uruguay, and one of Ecuador or Chile. One of the seeded teams Jamaica will face no matter what. So personally, I think that we should go, because that sets the stone heading into 2025 that Jamaica has played these high caliber sort of friendlies, and it would bode well for Jamaica heading into 2025 when the qualifying cycle for 2026 would commence. And it would allow us to say, okay, we had a look at him, we had a look at him, we had a look at him. Maybe we need to get 1 or 2 more passports, but not 10, 15, 20 passports. That's the reality. J. Ross says, interesting. Something to consider. It is something to consider. So hopefully that is something that can be pondered in the grand scheme of things. Right now in League A of the Nations League, Jamaica is at the top with 5 points. Mexico has 4 points. Suriname has 1 point. Mexico has 2 games to go. Jamaica has 1. Mexico has Suriname to play away from home, right? So if Mexico defeats Suriname away from home, that means that Jamaica must beat Mexico in Mexico in order to advance to the semifinals of the Nations League. And you might say, Simon, in Mexico, boy, that's sticky, that's a go rough. This is the best time to defeat Mexico. This is the best time to defeat Mexico. The best time when they're in transition, when they're not at their peak. This is the best time to defeat Mexico. And I promise you, post March 2023, Mexico is going to get their act together and ensure that they rub off the demons, mistakes, challenges, nightmares of 2022 and ensure that come Gold Cup, they're puffing out their chest with pride. Because let's be honest, Mexico has not been Mexico since 2019, if I'm being completely honest with you. Since Gold Cup 2019, Mexico has not been Mexico. That was the last time that I said, yeah, that's a team. Yes, Ochoa, Jonathan Dos Santos, players sharp, Carlos Salcido, Hector Moreno, Jesus Gallardo, Edson Alvarez, Rodolfo Pizarro. That's what I think. So it's all about ensuring now that we utilize these games effectively. Are we going to see Andres Guardado? Probably not. Probably not. Are we going to see an Ochoa? Maybe. Are we likely to see Edson Alvarez? Yes. Absolutely. Will they recall Javier Hernandez? Carlos Vela? I don't think so. I really don't think so. Jamaica really needs to win the Nations League, but Jamaica has enough firepower right now. This will be Jamaica's best chance to defeat Mexico in Mexico. Jamaica's best chance. Ever. 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 If you had to pick right now, what would be your starting lineup for the Gold Cup, including players you think should be called up and get passports? Andre Blake in net, left back, Greg Lee, right back, Max Aarons, centre halves, Ethan Pinnock and Richard King. Defensive mid, John Russell. In front of those two, Rabel Morrison and Daniel Johnson. Front three of Leon Bailey to one side. Mikel Antonio through the middle. And Rolanda Aarons to the other side. I agree with you that it would be good for boys to see and where we need to fix up on. And what better opportunity or what better tape reader measurement than to play against some of the best teams on the planet? Argentina, Brazil, Ecuador, Chile, Paraguay, some high quality teams. Marvin says, Simon, Jamaica really need at least 3 good defensive midfielders. I will admit that is an area of concern, significant concern, but everything in due time. I think John Russell is going to be an outstanding player, and you're going to see that in national colors quite soon. Just give it time, and it will happen. It will. You'll see. Great player, great caliber. So it should be good. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm sure you guys are as well. As it relates to the rest of this year, President of the Jamaica Football Federation, Michael Ricketts, says that there were talks to play a friendly before the end of the year, but it was simply dialogue. It wasn't negotiation, which is at a different stage of the process. So it is unlikely that Jamaica will have any more friendlies for the rest of 2022, but We shall see. We'll see what happens, eh? Everything in time. But folks, I'm interested to hear what you all have to say. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Would you have your best team at the Gold Cup, the Nations League, or your best team at the Copa America? Where would you have your best team? Let me know your thoughts about that. Would you send your strongest team to the Copa America or your strongest team to the Nations League, or ensure that there is a balance between the two? Because I'll be frank with you, it's quite unlikely that you're going to have every single player that played in the Nations League to also operate within Copa America as well if Jamaica are invited. So that's something for us to consider. You know, that's how I feel. So I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say. What about Brown in the MLS? Brown? Which Brown is that? Want to win trophies, so best team in the Nations League and Gold Cup. Well, remember, I'm talking about 2024, Nigeria. 2024, Jamaica would be in the Nations League and potentially Copa America if invited. So I was asking the question to the viewers if you'd send your best team to the Copa America or send your best team to the Nations League. My honest opinion is to ensure that there's a balanced squad in both, so that Jamaica has a squad that is good enough to win the Nations League and has a squad that is good enough to compete within the Copa America and create history by becoming the first Caribbean team to advance out of the group stages of a Copa America tournament. Now, only 2 Caribbean teams have ever been to the Copa America tournament, and that is Jamaica and Haiti. Those are the 2 Caribbean teams to ever participate in a Copa America Centenario. Jamaica has never scored a goal, so that's something that we're looking to tick off, So hopefully that is something that can be accomplished. So hoping for the best there, It's vital. Yeah, it's funny because there was actually a playoff between Haiti and Trinidad, and also Cuba and Panama, the first spot in the Copa America tournament. Panama won 2016, and by Panama's participation in the tournament, despite not advancing from the group stages, it was the fuel that they needed to qualify for the 2018 World Cup. Panama defeated Bolivia 2-1. They lost 4-2 to Chile. Despite a 5-0 hammering of Argentina, Panama did not embarrass themselves within this competition. Up until the last day, they were competitive with Chile. They took the lead against Chile. They were in the game. They were in the game up until the last kick of the game. And that was that. And that ended everything. So that's what we'll say there. Nations League is pointless. I disagree. It's not pointless because it's an opportunity for Jamaica to win a trophy, something that we have not. Jamaica has not won a CONCACAF trophy. Jamaica's won Caribbean trophies, but not a CONCACAF trophy. Oh, just came on. All right, cool, no problem. Copa America should be priority. Interesting. Not without a trophy, they should not go. Jamaica really need a lot more development to do inside football aspects. Interesting. We get invited for Copa America to do what exactly? Well, Jamaica has not been invited to the 2024 edition of the Copa America. The Copa America will be a 16-team tournament, and the 10 CONMEBOL teams will participate. With the United States, Canada, and Mexico all there, that means that 3 spots remain for the Copa America in 2024. And it has been reported that CONCACAF teams will also make up the last 3 spots as well. So what I said earlier in the show was that a Central American team will be involved, and namely that will be Costa Rica, I think, in my opinion. And of course, a Caribbean, and it would have to be Jamaica, which is why Jamaica stands a very, very good chance. Best team for the Nations League need trophies. All right, Javine Brown, good player, good player. He might not start for me in the Gold Cup, but definitely he's somebody that is part of my squad. Name 5 top-class players in your view you think Jamaica should pull out at all works to get into the team. That's a good question. Ivan Toney. Players that haven't played for Jamaica even at youth level as well. Fagan Walcott, 2. Isaac Hayden, even though he said, Javan Anderson. And Jamie Lawrence. How do you prioritize a tournament you don't even know you will get invited to? You have to plan, Arnold. You have to plan, because it's imperative to know that when you're going into a year, you know X amount of dates and windows that you have, because 2025, when qualifiers come around, it's crunch time. So it's all about maximizing these opportunities. Also, we need to compete against the bigger teams in Copa America. Interesting. Galaxy says Coach Grimmy needs to drag Damari Gray into the squad for the Mexico game. Interesting. Well, we shall see, shall we? I hope that this video was helpful to everybody, and you all understand exactly where I'm coming from here, and that you all were able to get the full gist of this video in particular. So guys, if you haven't already, hit that like button as well. Vincent Alvarado says, hello Simon, hope you all as well. Has Kyle Duncan ever indicated interest to Jamaica? Kyle Duncan has not publicly ever said he wants to play for Jamaica, no. Kyle Duncan has never declared that. I am aware of his heritage, his Jamaican heritage that is, but no, he has never. I know he represented the United States in a friendly, which makes him still eligible for Jamaica, but no, he's not. Maybe we should call up Championship and League One players with passports already, with a couple of experienced players like Maps for Copa. Interesting. I never thought about it like that. Would it be like a farewell for Maps and company, Antonio? Could be. Any change in Reese Oxford? Well, the thing is that he's not been contacted, my friend. Ben Johnson, Reese Oxford, have not been contacted. We would not be a punching bag at all. We have Grim to get the best out of the players that we have. Interesting. Guys, it's what I will say to you in closing is that this is a marathon, not a sprint. So things are going to take time to evolve. So at this point in time, it's imperative to have that patience and have that belief that heading into the new year, things will change. Of course, I'll do a review of 2022 and what it was like for Jamaica as a whole, and you all will be able to have that and watch that. So basically, what I want you guys to do is to essentially think about it and know that great things are on the horizon. Simon, are you aware of any Jamaican college that have a good shot at getting drafted into MLS next week? At this point in time, it's funny that they're having a draft in terms of in December, not January. It's funny that they're doing that slightly after the World Cup. But that's all right, I guess. I don't have a problem with it. It just seemed a little bit bizarre. You guys know what I mean? What is Demarai Gray waiting for to come on board for Jamaica after not getting a look in for 2022 on the English team? There is no future for him with England. As I've said before, I'll say it again. He can't find his father's documents. Can you touch on Jamaica's football philosophy in a video? Do we have one, by the way? Okay, I can work on that, no problem. And I'm sure you guys would like to see formations, tactics that Jamaica could use heading into 2023. What do you think about the U20 team? Some of these players are training in with their clubs and got their debut like Dexter. Yeah, I would invite a handful of them for the Nations League. Dexter, Kanaya, and Badley Morgan. Those three in particular, I would do. Let Jamari Clark get some experience under his belt at Woking and let him grow and enhance his ability. He's already scored a goal at Woking. I want to see him grow and get that time that he needs, you know? So that's important. Greenwood's trial in a year. Does this mean no football for him in a year? I think so. Jamaica should approach DeAndre Carr and see what happens. Interesting that you say DeAndre Carr. Yeah, the Canadian forward. Not a bad idea. Improving at Toronto. I remember him from his time at Ajax Soccer Club. I remember him during that time because he's not far. Ajax is not far from Whitby, and usually when I'm in Canada, I'm in the Whitby area, so I know quite well that area in particular. Played for Canada at the Under-17 World Cup in 2019, so I'm aware of DeAndre. I don't think that he is ready to start for Jamaica, but I do think that he can have an impact. Russell Rowe is at Columbus Crew. He's a forward at 20 as well. So that's another one in particular. I wouldn't say, yeah, he can start right now, but it's good to add to the pool. Yeah, what I said before, plus the best of the under-20, as John, you're saying. Yeah. Simon, which player in the under-20s do you think should be in the squad for the Nations League and Gold Cup in 2026 World Cup? Kanaya Boyce Clark, Badley Morgan, Dexter, and Tyler. Is Clark injured? Hasn't played for Woking in almost 3 weeks. Yes. Big up. But he did pick up an injury. I know it was a 1-month loan, but he did pick up an injury. Who saw Jamaica's latest world rankings is our worst ranking in 5 years. Really need more whisper. Yeah. I'll leave this with this point. Whisper is 17, right? And while I believe that he's ready for Europe, the 17-year-old that is already in United's academy, City's academies, Arsenal's academy, already has that edge over Whisper. So I'm not expecting Whisper to sign for Man City or Arsenal. Can he do a job at Genk? Absolutely. Cassiopen, Charleroi. But not England, not yet. Not yet. Soon though, very soon. JR is interesting. The assumption is Herdman will start to integrate him soon if he gets around on. Yeah, very much so. Are there any new regular recruits that are going to be added to the pool? Maybe Taylor. Vincent Alvarado says, do you believe Jamaica should also scout Costa Rica for dual nationals? Loads of talent in good league. It will be tough. It'll be tough to get those players on board because I believe a lot of them share the view that they can make the Costa Rican team. Some of them are not in touch with their Jamaican side of the family. Of course, those that with the paternal side of the family that are born to Campbells and Samuels and Browns and Thomas Reed. So those in Panama, Costa Rica, Sterling, while I'm not saying that we should not, because I do think we should try and at least get the passport, I just think perhaps we'll have a 10% or 5% turnover in terms of introduction in the national team. But right now, there's not one that I would say, yeah, let's get him now. Not yet. Here's one for the group. Should Zach Lovelace be recruited and called for the Gold Cup pool? Yes. Yes, 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 he should be. I believe that there is conversation that his dad is having with the Jamaican FA. Yes, Taylor Hines. Couldn't be any other Taylor. Couldn't be any other Taylor, guys. Couldn't be any other Taylor. The one and only Taylor. You know? One moment, guys. One moment. All right, let's see what you guys are saying here. Do you think Cameron Lacey could get drafted? It's a possibility. It's a possibility. Could definitely see that happening. Simon, do you think Whisper should be in the national team? Well, for me, he should not be in it because he's not ready to look at McGee struggle in Europe and then he was the best player in the Manning Cup. I would call him up for the Mexico game. I'm not saying play him, but I'm saying call him to integrate him to the national team so that the coach can have an idea what he has and what he needs to work on. So call up, yes. Put on the field, not yet. Oleg Ali said, Simon, with the level I've seen with the schoolboy football this year, what should the JFF do to get these players together and ready for 2026 campaign so we can have young players mixed with some of the vets? The thing is, Oleg, is that schools are not responsible for development. A school's primary focus is education. Clubs have the full responsibility to develop these players. So the accountability will come for the clubs to ensure that they can get these players up to a standard that is respectable and to a standard that is competing and competitive with the rest of the region. What happened to Keita Hart? Nothing. Nothing happened to him. I'm just not get called yet. It's sad when I England give them 5 match and dash them away. Players who could be playing international football for another country. Yeah, we've seen that before with a couple of them. Any under 17 trials for UK? Not at this point in time. That could be the ace in the hole for Reggae Boyz peeps. Remember the name Lovelace, the new Rangers coach, for drafted him in the first team squad. Yeah, I think he's still 16. I think he's going to be 17 next year, early next year. Yeah. Simon, do you believe Jamaica historically scouts the US enough for dual nationals? Feels like there's a lot there hasn't been tapped into. Is there enough done? There is tracking done on players in North America. Absolutely. I'm not going to say that that hasn't been done. That is something that has been done. Absolutely. It has been done quite well. You know, it's something that has been done quite well. So, yeah. So that's something for us to ponder right there. Will Lovelace play under 17 if he can get a passport? But he doesn't have a passport, so he'll need to get a passport first. I know Devon Porter has been in dialogue with his father. I know, but it's sad when England done with you. Nketiah and Lamptey smart to play for Ghana. Wilfred Zaha, the Ivory Coast. Honestly, I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka should go and play for Democratic Republic of the Congo. That's how I feel. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I don't see him representing England at the senior level at all. Sad, but yeah. He has a year and a half left on his contract. And when you have a year and a half, you can start discussions and negotiations. What's going on about Copa? Well, Galaxy Boss, I had a conversation earlier as it relates to the possibility of Jamaica being invited. It's a 16-team tournament, and the 10 CONMEBOL teams are there, which leaves 6. US, Canada, Mexico are slated to be there, which leaves 3. And the remaining 3, according to reports, are likely to be CONCACAF teams. And when you're bearing in mind, a Central American team would have to be there. Central America, you think about Hispanophone-speaking nations, so a Costa Rica, a Panama, or Honduras could be there, and then you'd have one from the Caribbean to just add that diversity. So I think Jamaica stands a good chance of being there. Good chance. A very, very good chance that Jamaica could be there. A good chance that Jamaica could be there. So I hope and pray, hope for the best, and that everything will fall into place. So yeah. Simon, the GFF needs more clubs like Mount Pleasant and Harbourview. When these young men leave high school, they should be in a system where they transition into club teams that develop. For Cavalier has a good system as they actually give playing time to teenagers, and that is something that needs to happen. Give teenagers opportunities to play. Qatar should be there. Qatar will be at the next Gold Cup. Qatar will be at the next Gold Cup for sure. I don't know if the MOU that they signed also involves the next Copa, but I know for sure that Qatar will be at the next Gold Cup because they have an MOU with CONCACAF in that sense. I don't think they have an extended MOU with CONMEBOL. I mean, I could check it, but I don't think that they're down to compete. You could be right. Yep, Tarek Jimenez is expected to move abroad. I know, as discussed on this channel before, Belgium is a place that he could go. Could very much end up in Cuba. Belgium. Could end up in Belgium. He could end up in Belgium. So yeah. All right, folks. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Let's hear what you got to say. Again, the question is, Nations League is also in 2024, which will also coincide with Copa America. Would you send your best team to the Nations League or the Copa America? Or would you ensure that there's a balanced squad to both so that Jamaica can compete for a trophy in the Nations League and be competitive in the Copa America and try to become the first Caribbean team to get out of the group stages of a Copa America tournament? Oh yes, Simon, are you excited with the news of a pro league for women in Canada? More opportunities for ladies all around North America. Very excited. Very excited. And you know for sure, Jamaicans will be involved. Once pen is put to paper on those Jamaicans, I'll keep you all posted on that. But yes, Jamaicans are going to be involved. I'll keep you all posted on that. Copa will have more eyes, but I hear what you're saying. But Jamaica, we can't avoid. It can't be in a situation where Jamaica drops down to League B in the Nations League. You don't want Jamaica to be relegated. So it has to be ensured that this is a balanced squad for both. And we don't want to go to the Copa America and get 8 or 6 and 4. I want to go Copa America and get 4 points from our group. Minimum. Ohini Blake, I think the US trials were arranged by Freddie Butler. Anyone in Birmingham, etc. Candidates. Yeah. What's the deal on Junior Flemings? You'll find out in another video, my friend. Simon, when is the semi-final of the Nations League? The semi-finals of the Nations League will be played in early June. So that will be before the actual Gold Cup itself. So think about it. Jamaica could actually play 8 games in a space of 6 weeks. That's precious, isn't it? 3 group stage games, quarterfinal, semi-final, final, 2 Nations League games, semi-final and final. Jamaica could play 8 games. Good news, isn't it? But yeah, folks, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to Reggae Boyz Commentary for more content. All right, guys, take care. Be safe. More content to come. An exclusive is on your way.
This video is brought to you by MPEC Printery, specializing in t-shirt printing, posters, and shipping from the USA. Call 876-775-6692 or 876-337-7374. Andy Gone Nuts, 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876-309-6128. That's 876-309-6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876-586-0471. That's 876-586-0471. This video is also brought to you by BLC Jamaica Security Electronics, specializing in alarm system, video surveillance, camera system or CCTV, barrier system, gate automation, and access control. Call 876-320-7711. That's 876-320-7711 or 876-351-1105. That's 876-351-1105.